Everybody, so Leon here, and today we want to look at two things: addition and subtraction of directed numbers, and also multiplication and division of directed numbers. So this is a topic that many students get problem with, especially addition and subtraction of directed numbers. With your calculator, it may be a breeze, but without a calculator, let's say in a paper one, it may cause a few problems for some students, especially addition and subtraction. So to explain this concept, I will use the popular game show Jeopardy. So I'm sure we are all familiar with how Jeopardy goes. You have a list of categories along with some numbers, and you choose the category along with a number. And if you get that question that pops up correct, that number or that money will be added to your total. If you get it incorrect, that money will be subtracted from whatever total you have. So normally you start off with, everybody would start off with 0. So let's do a scenario. Let's have Yoshi. Yoshi is the star of this Jeopardy game. So Yoshi goes and she chooses books in German for 400. And then the question pops up and Yoshi gets it correct. So that means Yoshi will have 0 plus 400. Yoshi will now have 0 plus $400. So now she will have a total of $400. So Yoshi was excited, and then she goes and chooses the category treaties for 600. So the question pops up, Yoshi rings in, but this time Yoshi gets it wrong. She gets it incorrect. So that means Yoshi will now lose 600, but she only has 400. So that will be 400 subtract 600. So that means Yoshi will go into the negative. So Yoshi will have negative 200. So Yoshi will have negative 200. But nobody answers the question, so it's Yoshi time to choose again. So Yoshi, she decides to switch it up, and she goes to chop chop for 200. She switches and she goes chop chop for, let's say, 800. So the question pops up, and Yoshi is excited again, and she answers. And once again, she answers incorrectly. She answers wrong. So that means you now have to minus $800 from Roshi already, negative 200. So she'll have negative 200 subtract 800. So that means now she will go further into the negative. So she'll have negative $1,000. Negative $1,000. And Yoshi chooses again, and she goes and she chooses rhyme time for 600. So Yoshi rings in, and this time she's confident and she gets it correct. So that means she'll have negative 1,000 plus the 600 that she got. So that means she'll still be in a negative 400. So Yoshi goes negative 400. So Yoshi goes and she chooses rhyme time for 1,000. And the question pops up and Yoshi gets it correct. So Yoshi will now have negative 400 plus 1,000. So the 1,000 is more than a negative 400. That means she will go into the positive now. She'll have a positive 600. Alright. So with that, I want to bring out the concept of addition and subtraction of directed numbers. Alright, so let's do some examples without the whole Jeopardy, but keep the same concept in mind. So let's do some examples. So let's just say we have negative 10 plus 3. How would that give us? Negative 10, and we're adding 3. That would simply give us a negative 7. So let's just say we had negative 3 plus 10. That would once again give us, we have a negative 3 and adding 10, so that would give us a positive 7. So let's just say we had negative 17 subtract 6. That would simply give us, we are going further into the negative, this will give us a negative 23. Alright, I chose those examples, brought out the concept. Alright, I'll attach some questions now to this video. So let's head in now to multiplying and dividing directed numbers. This is more straightforward. These are where the rules are applied, and the rules are positive times a positive would give you a positive, a negative times a negative would give you a positive, a negative times a positive would give you a negative, and a positive times a negative would give you a negative. And the same thing apply, the same rules apply for division. All right, positive divided by a positive will give you a positive, and so on. So you just need to remember one and the other, will be the same thing. So let's head into some examples. So as we can clearly see, when the signs are the same, the result will always be positive. And when the signs are different, the result will always be negative. So let's do some examples. So let's just say we had -5 multiplied by a -6. So what we want to do first, we want to multiply the signs. So we have a -5 times a -6. So we want to multiply those two signs first. A negative times a negative would give you a positive. So it's understood in the world of mathematics that we don't put the positive sign when it's a positive number. When it's just that number alone, it's understood that it's a positive number without any sign in front. And then we'll have 5 times 6 would give you 30. So -5 times -6 would give you a positive 30. So let's just say we had a -5 times a positive 6. So -5 times a positive 6. Once again, we multiply the signs. So we have a negative times a positive. So a negative times a positive will give you a negative. And 5 times 6 will once again give you 30. So -5 times positive 6 will give you a negative 30. So let's just say we had a positive 5 times a -6. So a positive times a negative would give you a negative, and 5 times 6 would give you 30. And we know 5 times 6 would simply just give you 30. So what we want to do first, we want to multiply the signs, whatever signs you have, and then we multiply the numbers. And the same thing goes for division. Let's just say we had a -25 divided by a -5. So the negative divided by the negative, that would give you a positive. And 25 divided by 5 would give you a 5. I remember there's no need to write this positive sign. It's understood that that is there. So let's just say we had a -42 divided by a positive 2. So once again, we divide the signs first. A negative divided by a positive would give you a negative. And 42 divided by 2 would give you a simply 21. That is our answer, and that brings us to the end of this video. I will attach a few questions to this video just to see if you understand the concept. Alright, with that being said, ciao.